Years ago, my colleague Seram Abla de Souza visited the community of Aflao, which is along the stretch. She spoke to some of the people.
Moi, Natija, me metazona, €1. Na ko passage a hono vesamba a moi na barama nki subata. Anya kamya glo ko embe mi de kuku gada no ba jira mo do nemi o.
Jim Ablekoko is also asking for the stretch to be fixed. He also complains of virtually the same thing that Madam Esther told us about, that it's difficult using the stretch, especially when it rains.
De konye akoto kosi François. Moi anyina versus na mine be ne mi hamiso kopé mo gbona java ple enwa mi mte zona di tuto. Abe opugan o le moji ale we mo agblan. Mi menya mo mi atono ne mi le dusi mi be aloji toma opugan va tona mi ba aloji la we hale afi nwa be ato. Ena be mo mi do amase amado tepola to le modio yakata no monyo ko la janire ebam abe ne si chacha mi te mo to mu afi la nyu mi photo alo mi moto mi to a pour gan to tan ba to fuma na ba fo kuchan ajona le modio na mi yakata.
He's also saying that the heavy-duty trucks that use the stretch also poses a lot of danger to lives, because those using the motorbikes, if they decide to use a certain portion of the road, the heavy-duty trucks also want the better portion, and so they tend to, virtually struggle over the little, spaces on the stretch. And he is also adding his voice to the plea that the stretch from the Aflao police station through to Diamond Cement be fixed. Okay.
We'll hear more of the people's concerns later in the bulletin, but Municipal Chief Executive Elliot Agbenorwu gave some hopeful timelines.
The Diamond Cement Road, indeed, it's in deplorable state. I'm very much aware. And I've been plying that road myself at times to look at what happens at the factory. The first MPP government constructed that road, actually, before it's in that state now. We have this 1 million per constituency, which we've grouped into IPEP, Infrastructure for Poverty Eradication Project. As part of IPEP, part of the money are going to be used to do some capital projects, that is road. So the first thing we did was to send the Diamond Cement Road to be considered for awarding. However, what we are also doing as an assembly, we have a grader, we planning. Actually, the plan, we've agreed even with the GM of Diamond Cement, and he's also agreed to assist us with some fuel, so that the assembly will come in and grade the road, just grade it and make it a bit more tolerable, especially for the trucks that go there and traders that go there to buy cement. So there's plan. It's because of the rain, constructions that are not friendly during rainy seasons. So we're just thinking that when the rain is a bit subsiding, then we'll just go in and grade the road, where we await for the road to be awarded. Presently, some of the roads that we sent have been awarded, and I'm sure Diamond Cement will also be awarded soon, so that we'll have it.
That is then to say that the roads you've sent have been awarded, but for now, the ones that have been awarded, Diamond Cement is not part of it.
Exactly. It's not part of it now.
Is it possible for us to kind of going into a certain agreement with Diamond Cement to have them fix the road, maybe for a tax-free period or something?
Yeah, I think that's not far from the truth or the right thing for us to do. We can. In fact, when I invited him, that was also part of what we discussed. But we have some assurance that first quarter of 2018, most of those roads that we sent are going to be awarded. So until then, we want to wait. When it is not awarded, then we can now think about this arrangement where they fix it. Then we'll look at their tax system for them. Indeed, it's a business, it's a factory, and they are ready. They should be able to do that.
Now, Mr. Elliot Agbenorwu has joined us via Zoom. Thanks, sir, for joining us. So this conversation was in 2018. 3 years down the line, why has the road not been done?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And very good morning to our cherished viewers. Yes, in 2018, we had this conversation. Then, as I said in the conversation, we were looking at the IPEP to do us the honors by doing the road for us. However, this IPEP thing has gone through a lot of processes. Changes have come. And so the Diamond Cement Road wasn't, because of the large capital outlay nature of it, was taken out, IPEP. And so we have replaced some of these big capital projects with school blocks, which have been done together with CHIPS compound and the desk and other things that we can do using the IPEP. That is the $1 million per constituency. But the other thing we are exploring now is that because of the nature of that road, it is a special road. It is not just a road that we can construct at any time, or we can just construct as usual, how all other roads have been done. Why I'm saying that? Because the nature of trucks that ply that road daily. If you look at that road from Aflao down to Diamond Cement and beyond, you can see that beyond to Akpokpule is a bit more trouble. It's the same road, but because this part is being plied predominantly by heavy trucks, which carry cement and heavy loads, this part is being very, very bad. And so when His Excellency, the President, made a tour, he accepted the plea from the chiefs to fix the road. So we have been given 8 kilometers, which includes the Swansea Beach Road, the Agbozume Town roads. At the Diamond Cement is just about 3 kilometer stretch. So what we did was to separate it for a special redesigning. Redesigning means that they have to check the texture and also the layers, and also to reinforce that road so that when it is constructed, it will not be what we are seeing today. It will have to last for a test of time. So because of that, that Diamond Cement 3 kilometer stretch was secluded for a special treatment. That treatment has commenced. What we are doing is that a team from Urban Roads were here to first of all assess the roads, to also look at the waterlogged nature and also the reinforcement. And the machine was brought. The engineers know.
When did this team come? Mr. Agbenorwu, when did this team come to do the inspection?
Just about 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. Help me understand this. Help me understand this. Help me understand this. You said that initially it was too expensive to add to the $1 million per constituency project. That's what you said.
Exactly so.
Okay, so you told us this 3 years ago, it takes approximately $2 million to lay a kilometer of road. That means that you could have done 2 out of the 3 kilometers of road by now if you were going to dedicate the funds to that project and raise it to asphalt level, which we know would not have been the case.
Yes, I think you are right. But you see, the whole thing is about the number of needs that we have in the municipality. Yes, the road is also important, but the school children also need desks to sit on. They also need shelter, classroom to also sit in. Mothers also need CHIPS compound to also, when they get pregnant, to also get a place for taking care of them and also for safe delivery. And so once government, that is the urban roads, have accepted in principle to separate that part for a special redesigning, the assembly, the local government thought it wise to rather use those funds to solve the educational problem, to solve the health problem, so that the urban roads, as promised, can concentrate on the 3-kilometer stretch of the road. And that is what I was telling you, that it has already commenced.
Came over. No, fine, I'll come to that in just a moment, what you said about it starting. But when Urban Roads told you what they told you, did they show you a source of funding that they were going to get to fix the road?
Of course, GOG funding.
Okay, so it was going to be general government money. There was no direct line of funding. I'm asking this question because we know that there are numerous other funds which are available to provide desks, to provide school buildings. But the nature of infrastructure for poverty eradication was that the people choose what they want it to go to. And your people have expressed on numerous occasions that their priority need is the construction of that road. Are we not departing from the use of that money if we decide to use it for something else when the people have chosen that it's to be used for the road?
Well, that is just one of what the people have chosen. The people haven't just chosen the road in its entirety, leaving the other things. So we have prioritized. And in prioritizing, we look at the capital outlay of set projects. We look at what that is the priority I'm talking about, scale of preference, what we can do possibly first to benefit the people. I'm not in any way saying that this road is not important. It is important. But what I'm trying to explain is that the amount of money that is going to be used in the construction of this road alone can do so many classrooms, can do so many health projects, can do so many other things equally that the people needed and have also informed us of. And I'm saying that we depart from this because we have made a special appeal because of the special need of that road and the special nature of that road and the re-engineering of that road, which we think that as a local assembly using IPEP, we may not be
I'll come to that. I'll come to the capacity.
For that matter, Ministry of Roads and Highways can help us.
Right. I'll come to the capacity of that in a while. But I've done a bit of work with Ministry of Roads and Highways, and I know that on many occasions a partnership is entered into with private entities for the private entities to support with funding to carry out these projects. You told my colleague 3 years ago that you were exploring the option of having Diamond Cement supporting the construction of the road whilst we are looking for funding so that maybe they could also have some things like rebates. You answered in the affirmative. You said it's an option you're exploring. The road is still not done, Mr. Agbenorwu.
Yes, that was an option we were looking at. An option
Why haven't
for
you explored
them to
it?
fix it. Well, we look at the BOP and also the property rate that they pay to the assembly. But after a conversation with the GM later, management of Diamond Cement, they were not ready. And indeed, there were a lot of publications from the factory which says that they were paying tax. And so what they need is government to fix it, not for them to fix it and later pay. So that was an option, a proposal that I made, and hopeful that the GM, when we go into that conversation, he will agree to do that. But unfortunately, that wasn't agreed on. There were other proposals that came where some investors came, wanted to fix the road and toll it. But again, that is also beyond the local assembly, towing of roads. Okay. So we have also made same proposal to the Ministry of Roads and Highways. But again, we haven't gotten a favorable response.
Right. So is it your contention then, Mr. Agbenorwu, just a moment, are you saying then that when you made that statement on the record, you were not saying something that you knew was feasible? You were just talking to the public? You were not making a commitment that you knew was feasible?
As a leader, that is one of the options that I believe can be feasible. And having said that, I went further to engage the management of Diamond Cement. It was after my further engagement that we realized, and it came to the fore, that they cannot do it. Looking at the capital, the number of years that it will take them for them to get a rebate in order for them to fix it. What rather they were talking about, I think, was not proper for them to, they were always talking about grading. And grading, the assembly has already been doing that every year. Feeder roads, urban roads, highways usually come to the assembly to help us grade roads yearly. And so they're also proposing the same thing. And I think that wasn't what I was rather proposing. I was rather proposing fixing re-engineering and also making the road good, motorable for they themselves and other motorists.
Mr. Agbenorwu, can you tell the people of Ketu South when the road will be constructed? And I mean, where construction will be done on this road?
Yes, as I was building on a point, the exercise has been done. Since that exercise has been done, they are now going to prepare the bills of quantities. When the bills of quantities is being prepared based on the feasibility studies and the examination that was conducted on the road, that will be sent to the Honorable Minister of Roads and Highway for approval. When the approval is being given, then we can now start procurement of that road.
Help me understand this. Help me understand this. I'm sorry.
At least 3 months.
I'm sorry, sir. Help me understand this. We spoke to you 3 years ago, and you said that some roads have been submitted for contracts to be given out. From 2018 to 2021, what you're saying is an evaluation has not been done. A procurement bid has not been sent to the ministry. No bill of quantities has been. Basically, you're starting the process afresh 3 years down the line, Mr. Agbenorwu.
No. Maybe you got me wrong.
Please explain to me. Please explain to me.
I said some routes.
I didn't say. I didn't suggest.
Swansea Beach Road is on contract.
Sorry, I didn't suggest that you said you had submitted this road. I didn't suggest that you said you had submitted this road. I was saying that you were aware of these challenges. We told you of this 3 years back. It was taken from IPEP. It was taken out of IPEP. But it's still 3 years down the line that we are seeing that the process of procurement is starting. Because what you are describing for us is a process of procurement from its nascent stage. When you decide to do a road. That's what started 3 weeks ago. Is that not the case?
Yes, of course. Yes, that is exactly the case.
That means you haven't made a move since 3 years.
This road, because of the special nature of it, we have done other things, and we realized that, look, because of the nature of the vehicles that use this road, urban roads advised that this is what is supposed to be done. And so when a new letter and we commence a new thing again, that is when the examination was carried on. That is when the bills of quantity is now being prepared. That is now approval is sought to be given.
And this process started 3 weeks ago. And this started 3 weeks ago.
So, yes, I agree with you that it's a new thing we are commencing, but we are commencing it on a good note, knowing that we have not done all our preliminary findings. We have not done all the things we needed to do. This is not something we will commence now and end on the road, but this is something we will commence and it will end successfully this time around.
But Mr. Agbenorwu, basically you are saying that since the project was taken from IPEP, no move to put this on contract was made till 3 weeks ago. Basically, that's what you're saying.
There was moves. There were moves.
But you're now starting the procurement process,
there were moves.
Mr. Agbenorwu.
Yes, yes, I agree with you.
After 3 years.
There were moves. It doesn't mean there was no move. There were moves. But you see, there is a gap between lobbying and also getting what you are looking for. So that process, fine, you may say that it kept a bit long. But to me, the good news is that we are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. The road is being taken on. We have done an examination and we are moving into what we know that once it starts now, that road is going to be fixed. And to me, that is the good news. And to government, that is what we should be celebrating now, that the roads has been taken on.
We celebrate with you, sir. My colleague who did that interview in 2018 is named Sarah Abla de Souza. She has a message for you. She says that she's coming back in 3 months and we are hoping that we have some more progress to report at the time. Have a good morning, sir. It's Elliot Agbenorwu. He is DCE for K2 South.